Hi, I'm Tom from Wakefield Music Tuition. Today I want to talk about listening and why it's such a big part of learning music. I'll explain what I mean by really listening and how it feeds straight into your playing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this from. This is the third in a series of short videos where I address common challenges that music learners often face. The tips aren't specific to any one instrument, but are designed to provide guidance and encouragement. Whether you study music with me or whether you found this video through the algorithm, I hope you'll find something useful that you can take away. Now, music is everywhere and we often hear it passively. But to become a better player, we need to train ourselves to hear actively, to listen with purpose. Over time, this skill helps you anticipate musical changes, internalise rhythms and respond intuitively when playing with others. Let's get started. A lot of beginners try to learn an instrument without really immersing themselves in the music they want to be able to play. They pick up the guitar, the drums or the saxophone and assume the skills will arrive simply by playing and attending lessons. But listening is one of the most important parts of learning. It trains your ears, your sense of rhythm, your musical intuition, and your understanding of what good playing actually sounds like. In a world where attention spans are becoming shorter and shorter, trends come and go very quickly. It's important that music isn't treated in the same way. Learning an instrument takes time, patience, and a willingness to engage with something more deeply. By spending time listening actively, you give your brain the material it needs to shape your playing in a much more musical way. Consider this: if you were learning another language, you wouldn't ignore the sound of native speakers. You'd listen constantly. Music is exactly the same. When you listen actively, you start to notice details, tone, phrasing, articulation, timing, dynamics. You hear how players shape their sound, how they create emotion, and how they create groove. You can also practice by listening to recordings multiple times, focusing on different aspects each time. For example, on one listen, concentrate on rhythm. On another, focus on how the melody moves. On another, pay attention to dynamics and expression. Each listening session deepens your understanding and helps you internalise musical choices. Try this as an exercise. Choose one song in the style that you want to be able to play and focus on just a single element. Maybe it's the main guitar riff, maybe it's the groove the drummer plays, maybe it's the phrasing of the saxophone. Listen to it a few times and really study it. Hum it, tap it. Try to internalise it before you even touch your instrument. You can repeat this exercise with other elements once you feel confident with this first one. The goal is to train your ears and memory simultaneously, so that when you pick up your instrument, the music feels familiar and intuitive. This method also strengthens your ability to notice subtle differences in tempo, articulation and style that often get overlooked when just reading sheet music or tabs. When learners take this extra step, their playing often becomes more musical very quickly. Notes stop sounding mechanical, rhythm feels more natural. They start recognising patterns. You'll hear a chord progression and suddenly think, I've heard that before. That's how musicians grow. So, make active listening part of your practice routine. Even 5 minutes a day or focusing on just one song can make a huge difference. You might also find that keeping a simple journal of the music that you're currently listening to, scribbling down anything that you notice, no matter how small it seems, helps you engage more meaningfully with both the music and your instrument. Other ways to integrate listening would include slowing down recordings, playing along with them, even trying to transcribe what you hear. Each of these approaches will reinforce your ear training and helps you internalise rhythms, phrasing and musical ideas more effectively. Over time, listening becomes a habit that naturally supports every aspect of your playing. Listening is something you can do anywhere, at any time, and it doesn't require your instrument to be in your hands. That's what makes it so powerful. By developing the habit of active listening, you're still improving as a musician, even when you're away from practice. Over time, this shapes your musical instincts in a way no exercise on its own ever could. The more you listen with intention, the clearer your musical direction becomes. You begin to understand what you like, what you want to sound like, and how different players achieve their sounds. That clarity feeds directly back into your practice, helping you make better choices about what to work on and how to approach it. So this week, try setting aside a small amount of time just to listen properly. Pick one song, one part, one idea, and give it your full attention. You'll likely find that when you next pick up your instrument, things feel more familiar, more natural and more musical, and that's when real progress starts to happen. If you found this video helpful, feel free to subscribe for more tips. You can leave a comment with what you're listening to at the moment, or suggest a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video. If you know someone who might find this useful, do consider sharing it. If you'd like to find out more about my lessons, you can visit my website and the link is in the description below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.